There we go. I think it's working now. Hello. I apologize for everything. Now that's Daniel's way of normally starting things. Actually, normally he goes, "Hi guys, how's it just going to be amazing? It's just going to be great. This is going to be awesome. This is just going to be the best thing ever." No, but this is me again. You guys get Tim, maybe solo. I'm not quite sure. Zach, Zach Vol says he will be showing up. He told me a couple minutes before. He actually, to his credit, he gave me a decent amount of notice that I had to start first. But I say all of that only to say, welcome to the Yumi and BTC podcast. This is episode 257. If you've seen any of the tweets about this, you kind of know what we're going to talk about. We're going to go after Bcash. This is also why I brought the fact I'm here by myself. I, of the trio of us, am probably the worst person to start off the Bcash attack because I will give them and I know you do, Ver. I know you're out there listening to us. Um, if you do, you're probably going to get some good ammo out of this episode because I'm going to say a lot of dumb shit that probably doesn't apply to you guys and is probably going to be able to see. This is what everybody else believes. This is why Bcash is legitimate because this idiot over here doesn't even understand regular Bitcoin. So you don't understand. So I'll try to keep that to a minimum. I'll try to not completely destroy the Bitcoin cause in this episode. But I don't know. Thank you guys for showing up. Thank you guys for watching whatever this is going to be. No, we like having you guys here. You can get us at the get in the chat box, hit me up. I need stuff to talk about. I need other people here to not make me feel alone, like Daniel and Zach have done now. And you can get that all at Yumi and BTC/live, or YMB/live, I believe. And you can follow us there. You can get, like I said, get involved with the chat. Tell me stuff to talk about. Tell me whenever I'm wrong. You can explain stuff like that to me. Also, follow me on Twitter at Baker's Dozen 93 because then you can get me there too. You can get me even when I'm not doing the show. You can just tweet at me and be like, "Hey, you suck at this," and it'll probably be applicable no matter what I do. But I keep on doing it. You just got to keep your spirits up and just keep on plugging, and you'll be fine. I don't know if that's true, but it's YMB.com/live. I'm sorry. Daniel's going to bitch at me again as he usually does. He's off somewhere. Whoever knows. I don't know where he is. He doesn't disclose that information, probably because he knows that I would tell people. I would let all of you know exactly where he is, the exact address, so you could go and harass him for just basically being a dick. He kind of just is consistently. So if you're going to text me and tell me I suck, also follow the whole show at Yumi and BTC on Twitter and tell Daniel that he's being a dick because it's probably applicable there as well. Like I said, we're going to be talking about Bcash today mostly, but I did want to go over a few things just to give myself some time where I can actually talk about something. We spent the last episode, and a lot of it was Daniel and Zach asking like applicable questions to our guest. And instead, I kind of just sat there and went, "Ooh, wow, this is exciting! I'm learning things, but I better not talk because then I'll sound like an idiot." If you want to listen to, I'll just plug my show right at the beginning. We have a couple different shows on the network. We have Zach's The Coin Pod, and then we have Ryan and I already forget the other guy. Ryan and Brian. They do the Unpopular Opinions podcast. Nothing to do with crypto. Nothing. It's a lie. It's a video show too, so you can only get on YouTube. They want you to see their beautiful faces, like I should. Like I do believe that we should just be getting ads thrown at us all the time, if for no other reason than just look at me. You don't want me to sell your product. Someone's going to refuse me. Where you can take that however you want. But the Zach show, the Coin Pod, is very much focused on cryptocurrency. Has a lot to do with. He has guests on every single week, so he interviews them, talks to them. He's good with questions. I don't know how that sounds, but he is a good interviewer, and he always has good, interesting guests. So check him out. You can also tell why Zach is better than both of us actually at this point. Because look at his follower counts versus mine. Then my show is, yes, I get it. The title's a little bit ham-fisted as well, but The Tim's 2 cents again. Tweet me and tell me a better name. I'm still going with that. Daniel is a little bit too easily, um, a little too easily happy with the effort that I put into things. I feel like sometimes when he talks to me and he's like, "Oh, that was good. That was a good job." Also, when Zack does it, but mostly when Daniel does it, when he tells me something's a good job, I know it wasn't a good job, and I'm just like, I know you're talking down to me. I know there's no way this could actually be a real compliment from you. But that's the title. That's the name of the podcast where I pretty much just talk for like a half hour. I'm more doing like current events, philosophy, kind of. If you can call any of this philosophy, I think philosophy gets thrown around a little bit too much nowadays. It's kind of turned into, well, I like philosophy because I like to consider things. And it's what? I wonder about how the world works and why people think the way they do. That's not even philosophy. That's probably I what is it? Not ecology. I don't remember what the word is, but they're like the literal study of people doing that. Hello, Serval Coon. Never mind. I was having a flashback. I was trying to remember something that happened in a past episode, but never mind. Don't worry about it. I might bring it up later if I have to. But there, like that. Someone pops into the chat and immediately I take you in. I bring you in to be part of the show, and we get to make content together. Isn't this just amazing, guys? But like my show, I don't do it live, so it's pretty much just me ranting for about a half hour. So if you've enjoyed this so far, go ahead. The viewers are not just dropping off. But check that out. I only say that to say I talked this past week about John McCain passing, and I don't know why I said it like that. I made up the euphemism for it. John McCain dying, and then also the Florida shooting, and I kind of gave my thoughts on, well, like why, actually both of those events weren't all that unexpected when you look at what was happening in the background. But get me there. Today, actually, I think they actually had John McCain's viewing. They had him actually laid out. I don't know. I don't. I'm always kind of weirded out by funerals a little bit. Not not anything crazy where I'm like having anxiety or something in the middle of it. Just a little bit of this is kind of weird. This is like we're all kind of just standing around this person and they're dead. Now we're going, oh no, we're all gonna, because like in America most of the time now, I'm sure it differs between people, but I've never gone to a wedding where it's that kind of, well, this is great, this is a celebration of this person's life. Look at me, you can tell it's no surprise, I come from a very white family, so most of the funerals that I've gone to have been the very quiet, reserved, uh people are, maybe somebody's crying, but most of the people are kind of just there. There's a fuck ton of people from a church. It's just like there's more people from the church the person went to than their family, and it's all just very, it's strange. It's weirdly reserved for if we are supposed to be remembering them as a good person or as whatever. It's strange. It's not depressing. It's just sterile and dead, and people just go, oh, don't talk to, everybody just whispers kind of, even there might be some kind of sad music in the playing in the background of that's normally more the funeral, but nobody really, nobody yells. Nobody's like, yeah, that was great. I had this one story with him this one time. A lot of people whisper. But I don't even know how I've gone off on this. As you can see, this is what my show is normally like. I just start out with talking about something. I do it every Monday. So I try to start with a fresh week, and I just go down probably at this point thousands of rabbit trails that have no business even being looked at, but I'm going to explore them because no one else feels it's worth their time to do. And it's most certainly definitely worth my time to do. So we'll get into, I guess, most of what this episode is supposed to be about, where, like I said, I'm not the best person to be going after this. Daniel and Zack feel much stronger about the hatred for Bcash than I do. That's not to say I dislike it, but I've kind of taken a position in the past year probably where I just go, like, unless you're literally murdering somebody, I'm probably going to be okay with what you're doing. And if you're literally murdering somebody and you can come up with a good reason for it, I'll probably I'll be okay with it in the sense that I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to go out of my way to stop you. I'm not going to, oh, hello, how, like, I'm not going to report something. But I do see Bcash, and it isn't so much the technology that's kind of fucky. It's more to me, and technology very well may be kind of fucky, but to me, it's the branding. And I think this is actually on both sides of this argument, where it's the BCH versus BTC. And there is a tendency to, instead of focusing just on whatever you're doing, a lot of the time spent proselytizing people and trying to win people over to you is just going, well, see how shitty they are. Look, they're dumb. Look at them. Stupid. Look at them. We have this pic. Look at this meme. This guy said a swear. And a lot of it goes into just mocking something, which I get. I get that that's definitely the easiest and probably the most effective way of winning an argument. And if you take anything away from this episode, I'll do my advice right at the beginning. If you're having an argument and you need to win this argument, give up trying to have a logical argument. Don't do that. It, even with people that you consider to be rational, it's probably not going to work. Just immediately start attacking their character, their mental state, whether they've drank today. Just bring up every single thing you can to say why their argument is invalid. Bring up past things they've thought about. Don't ever actually have a logical discussion, because who the fuck wants to do that? We just, like, it has kind of come down on this, and it might be because of Twitter, it might be because of a whole lot of different things, but most of us, most of how we do things, and most of how we decide things is kind of based off of mostly a popularity contest. As much as we want to make it as, well, we're just logical and we figured things out, and I've looked at this. Most people, it's just a woo, like, it's whoever maybe got to them first, whatever was more attractive for whatever reason. That is where then you can have different people, hopefully people of higher intelligence, lend themselves more to, this is more attractive to me because it makes more sense, or it's more attractive to me because it's a, for whatever reason, a better idea. But most of the time, it's still just going to be a result of your past actions, a result of your past, I don't know, thoughts and decisions. So yeah, there's my advice. Don't actually try to have a logical discussion. Just attack people. But so far, I'm pretty much just going off of the notes that Daniel gave me at this point, because like I said, this whole thing is about me not, like, I just don't, like I was saying, it's not that I think they're any better or worse, it's that I just don't care. And I guess that's probably even worse. Or if I was to talk to Craig Wright, he would probably be more bothered by, oh wait, never mind, it's not Craig Wright. Well, who knows? Probably a lot of people know, never mind. But my problem, I'm just apathetic about it. But anyway, here's an article, I guess, about someone not being apathetic. That's a terrible transition, but we'll go with it. This is from investing.com. You can follow along with this in the show notes. Again, you can get ymb.com/live or /live.com. No, ymb.com/live. Follow me there. I'll actually do screen share because I have these powers again. See if we can lose those last couple followers. Right there. Here. Well, now this is too much. Craig Wright, like I said, here, investing.com. Craig Wright keeps slamming Bitcoin ABC vision for scaling Bitcoin cash. I'll just read a couple sentences. Dr. Craig Wright, never tiring of defending Bitcoin's principles, once again revealed his discontent with the Bitcoin ABC team behind the Bitcoin Cash protocol. Wright has been known for stating that Bitcoin Cash is the real Bitcoin, hence his disapproval of plans for radical changes, especially when it comes to scaling solutions such as large blocks, pre-consensus, and 1-minute blocks. The changes, they'd alter Bitcoin Cash beyond recognition from its original shape based on the Bitcoin protocol. About rights attacks starting after ABC published. So basically, I guess Bitcoin ABC, which is an implementation of Bitcoin peer-to-peer electronic cash. I'm looking at their Twitter now. And they're just talking about the block size. This is just an argument over again about block size, but now Bitcoin Cash is having it. Or Bcash, whatever you want to call it. If anything, I hope he's watching just so somebody calls in and just like, fuck you, stop calling it Bcash. But what Wright is having a problem with is that one, and this is where I do have a little bit of a problem with the Bcash, is people like this, people like Craig, as we call each other. He calls me Tim. I say, what's up, Craig? And his problem is mostly, to me, is that he's like, no, I am the creator of Bitcoin. I am the holder of the real Bitcoin. I should have the most say in this as well. And the problem with that, to me, is that a lot of people could try to claim, like, if you're going to claim something like that, you really have to back it up with something. You have to have more charisma than I at least am aware of Craig having. It's strange, and I get where he's coming from now, where he's just saying, hey, well, if we're going to keep on messing up Bitcoin Cash and just we're going to capitulate to this argument again, what was the point of even doing this in the first place? What a lot of people on the other side then believe, especially with this block size argument with Bitcoin Cash, is that you change this stuff around and then that would be the true vision of what Bitcoin should be. That would be Satoshi's true vision. The problem with any of this stuff, where who cares if it's Satoshi's vision? Who cares? It doesn't. We've definitely said it sometimes on the show, but if you're going to look at something, he doesn't have, just because it's Satoshi's vision doesn't give any implementation, any more credence, or any authority over a different one. I'm fully in support of just everybody. Like, if we, and I think this is integral for if we want to see a increase in like development and in technologies and maybe mass adoption, but specifically just if we want to build a better Bitcoin, if we want to build better cryptocurrencies, which might not be Bitcoin, we need to have as much competition as we can get. We need to have as many people doing stuff. We need to have as many people disrupting things and causing a big pain in the ass for a lot of other people, because that's how things grow. That's how things get better. That's how things progress normally. So I'm fine with that. I'm fine with as many different, who the fuck, yeah, like I'm saying, who cares what Satoshi's vision is? What is your vision? This sounds like kind of a little bit super not new agey, but kind of douchey, where I'm just like, what is your vision? It doesn't matter what Satoshi's vision was. You should try your vision and what you mean and what you need to do. But there is some legitimacy to that, where you go, like, you have to look at yourself as someone who can make a huge difference in the world. And I know this is very hard for me to do. This is hard for me to imagine even being in a position of having knowledge where I could do something like this, where I could be a support in a cryptocurrency company. Besides just, I could be the carnival barker outside and just scream, hey, you want decentralized money? Get your fucking ass in here. Get in. And they'd be like, oh, he swore at me. That must mean it's good. These guys are real rebels over here. I could be the guy who just like walks around on the street and just hands out papers like for a comedy show and just, hey, you want to go see this? Eddie Murphy's going to pop in and do like 5 minutes or something. I could do all that, but being in like an actual technical support technical support role, I would have almost no idea how to do that. But then at the same time, that ignorance lets me go, if we're going to think about it, if we're going to think about it from the point of view of somebody who can change that and who has the kind of clout to do that, who cares? Let them, like, would, if you thought you could do that, would you not do it? Would you just go, nope, yep, I'm gonna let this go by. I'm not gonna take this opportunity, which I probably would, even if I did have the kind of info that I needed for that. I would probably just go, yeah, I'll just use Bitcoin or something like that. But we can't have that. We can't have people that do that. We can, because most of us are going to do that, but we do need the people that go, no, fuck you. I know how to do this. Because you have to believe in something like that. You need to believe in a vision. I guess I can probably stop sharing this, but you need to have people who are willing to have everybody online hate them. We can't all be Cody Wilsons. Like, I love Cody. I love what he does. I have a little bit too much of an obsession with him. Um. Okay. Yes. No. Exactly. Serval Coon. I was about to call you just Coon. I feel like I probably shouldn't say that. And life is a simulation, and nothing matters. But whatever it is, just like I said, I think I'm going back to just attack people. I am going on full on hipster mode though, which I definitely have not a little bit. I have a definite amount of hipster in me, and just in my personality, if you can even pin that down as something that I have. Even just in that sentence, that is the most douchey. That's, I shouldn't use douchey because hipster does explain a little bit more. But I'm definitely the person who's, yeah, man, like, I listen to this music, but like, they don't even have that many. They're not even on Spotify, man. And I take some kind of dumb pride in that. So I will take that moniker. I just need to be the BTC hipster. I don't even use BTC anymore because it's way too new, bro. It needs to be old. I'm going back to the dollar. I'm going back to gold. I'm just going to be with Peter Schiff and just chill gold all the time. But back to what I was saying. I think that we can't all be hipsters. There, I'll go off of that. We can't all be the guy who just goes, yeah, but like, why don't you just let people do? Why don't, like, none of us can actually figure out what's actually happening, man. You need people that go, no, I know what's going on. I know what's happening. I know the best way to implement this, and I will make things happen. Because even if it sucks, even if it's annoying, even if it pushes in our eyes right now, even if it retards progress or whatever, or holds back progress, it's probably doing something beneficial for the future. Or if not beneficial, things are still going to work. Things are still going to happen. And trial by fire is the best way, it seems, for most things. Besides that, this is what I'm saying. Again, I'll go back to this. Bcash is going to get off pretty easy with me today. Craig Wright's going to get pretty easy. I don't know if Craig Wright's going to get off on me. But yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I get why he's angry about having changes. I get that he has this idea, but then on the other side, people, whether it's in Bitcoin or other people in Bitcoin Cash, that go, hey, no, let's do it this way because we'll build this up, we'll make it better. And who's right? Who is more right? Nobody has Satoshi's soul inside them. And if you did, I don't care. People are going to do what they're going to do. So let's not get in the way of that at this point. Let's not like stoop to, I don't know if that's stooping to something, but let's not go to the level of what the rest of the financial world is, where it's just, no, like, we need to get big and then outlaw any kind of competition that isn't based off of some kind of a national or corporate interest. We need to not have anything with no competition, no mini currencies, no actual like, I think it's technically legal to have, I think, any kind of an exchange. That isn't it? I don't really know. But like on the dollar, it says this is legal payment for any debts, legal, public or private. I don't know if that makes other things illegal for debts for public or private. I don't know that barter is necessarily completely wiped out, but they've definitely been working towards eliminating cash. And most people are kind of just going along with that because it definitely is simpler. Most people, no, I don't have $5. I need to go to the ATM to get my $5 out because I couldn't just have cash on me. Who uses cash? I just swipe my card for everything. But yeah, no, Bitcoin Cash gets off pretty easy today. Wright gets off pretty easy today. I will go more after Bitmain. I will go a little bit harder against them, and I will attack them a little bit more. Actually, no, I'll jump over to Bitcoin Cash. There's another article from Investopedia about them Bitcoin Cash undergoing a hard fork. Space credits. Can you guys send me space credits? Serval Kuhn is talking about space credits, but oh yes, no, Bitcoin's on its way out. Space credits are coming in. Trump's Space Force is going to take over everything and just outlaw Bitcoin in space and just make space credits, space bucks. What's the currency in space balls? I don't remember. Some kind of credit. I don't know. Whatever. Do I think Bitcoin's on its way out? No, not anytime soon. I don't think that the name brand and the first the market advantage is going to carry it pretty far. At least I would believe. It just has too much behind it right now for it to go away anytime soon. But when I say that, I also mean like maybe 10 years, it's gone. Maybe not necessarily even gone, but just definitely falls out of popularity. A different one picks up on top of it. I kind of see that as inevitable, even if it's just that Bitcoin then becomes more of a store of value versus what we're trying to buy coffee with. I could definitely see something being implemented by that point so easily. It would be so simple for someone already coming from a Bitcoin background, because they're going to be focusing on making this stuff for the average user, for the average person at a coffee shop or a gas station. And I think they would make it so easy that for someone coming from Bitcoin, it would be almost too convenient sometimes, especially if you're just like buying groceries, buying coffee. You're not going to be that worried about that. But I'm also could be possibly just shitting on Bitcoin so the price drops more and I can buy more. So keep that in mind too. But here, I'll share the screen again just so you guys. I don't want to give you too much of my face. I get it. I feel like I give away my image a little bit too much, especially for Daniel. I do look amazing, so I don't want to just give that away completely for free. So I'm going to show you guys words on the screen again because I know that's very much entertaining. Let's see. Will Bitcoin Cash undergo a hard fork? And I guess we're just using Investopedia for everything today. I like stealing from other people. I will give him some credit though. This is by Rakesh Sharma. And at the beginning of the article, he just explains about what Bitcoin Cash is. There's pretty much just the break. If you somehow don't know, it's the breakup between Bitcoin and then a hard fork to a different different protocol. A different people wanted to focus on something else. It's not a hard fork, actually. I see again. This is why I was completely useless in the first half of the episode last week, because I'm just not. This is also why I can't be too involved with crypto Twitter, because I don't know the words. I can kind of explain things to people, and I could explain. This is why I'd be the good carnival barker on the outside the cryptocurrency place, is I could explain it to the average person walking through the street. Like most people, what's a hard fork? I don't understand what I'll just be like, they broke all this shit apart, and then this one's faster. Come in and check it out. So I'll just go with that. I'm not even going to get down on myself about that. But they're talking about atomic swaps. I don't even know what that is. Atomic swaps. I'll just read off from the article. Quote, atomic swaps enable conversions between cryptocurrencies by enabling them to move between blockchains. This is talking about the two big software clients, which are the Bitcoin ABC and Bitcoin SV. They're the biggest guys in these debates, so they're kind of talking to them in their different focuses on atomic swaps. Quote again: Bitcoin ABC, a Bitcoin Cash client, announced the initiative in its latest release recently. However, Bitcoin Cash's biggest miner has said that it will not commit hash power system resources required to mine cryptocurrencies for the initiative. Recent mining data for Bitcoin Cash indicates that CoinGeek has more than a third of total mining power assigned to Bitcoin. That's a little bit of a red flag. Or not a little bit. That's a pretty big red flag there whenever people are looking at something for decentralized currency where, yeah, it's decentralized in the name, and then CoinGeek has a third of the total mining power. Goes on to talk about the CoinGeek, the people have the third of the mining power, are supporters of Wright, at least their founder is Calvin Ayre, and Wright, as I was to Craig before I was talking about him, who is a founder at N-Chain Technologies and supports Bitcoin SV, a forked implementation of Bitcoin Cash. In the post announcing Bitcoin SV, the developer team behind the initiative claimed that the fork was intended to carry Satoshi Nakamoto's original vision. Bitcoin SV is intended to provide a clear Bitcoin Cash implementation choice for miners who support Bitcoin's original vision over implementations that seek to make unnecessary changes to the original Bitcoin protocol. Again, everything in here is just talking about how then everybody has their own opinions on this. Everybody wants to, well, no, that's not Satoshi's vid. That's not exact. We shouldn't embrace here from Vitalik. The BCH community should not compromise with Craig Wright to avoid a split and should embrace it as an opportunity to conclusively ostracize and reject him. Bitcoin Craig, that wasn't even good, can go take the ticker symbol from the now defunct cryptocurrency to which it is a fitting successor. Most people are in any situation like this, and they do make a point of this lower in the article, but I'll steal it. In any situation like this, where you're having an argument between two people where they think they are absolutely right and that they have no reason to be thought, like they have no doubt in themselves, they don't act correctly. They don't act like somebody who knows what's going on. They just go, they kind of just lash out at each other, yell a couple things, maybe be a little bit angry, and then both of them kind of look like children at that point. Both of them kind of look a little bit spoiled. I'll go back because I'll give you guys my face again. Don't worry, I'm back. The whole thing with this, and like I've already said this enough about Bitcoin Cash and about all of this. It is a good, I like Vitalik's thing about it. It's a good chance to ostracize him. But don't, like, you don't just have to automatically hate everything. If you want, you can, but also don't try to make him stop doing stuff. I think that'd be mostly my point from all of this, is don't try to force somebody out of producing things and creating things, because even if they're shit, they might inspire an idea in somebody else. Maybe this person working through the ideas will get them closer to what the real thing is, maybe whatever it is. It's never bad. That's definitely not true. It's definitely not true to say it's never bad to create, but there's a lot worse things you could be doing than just making stuff and trying to change things. And I think there's definitely a worth in that. There's a worth in just unlimited freedom, creativity, because I think it's not that it gets rid of the bad ideas. It's more that we just, especially with something like something creative, whether it's entertainment or developing a new technology, the more minds we can throw at something, the more ideas you can make. Like, it seems like progress is, yes, there is some study involved. There's some looking at, there's a lot of looking at information, but also a lot of it is just, hey, let's try this. Hey, let's do this. So it'll cause a lot of problems. But again, that's how we've always made progress in the past. I don't see that changing anytime soon. So let's have more stuff go. Now I'm going to have to eat those words right after. I'm sorry, I'm reading comments again. Yeah, no, I mean that's kind of my point in different word. I mean, it's not really my point. You added to it as well, but the people will use Bitcoin. I think even with the idea about using it in anonymity and it being like the first cryptocurrency, it has some it I mean Bitcoin legitimately does have some emotional weight in me. It has some emotional weight in how I think it definitely I definitely have. If we're looking at, whoa, what cryptocurrency am I going to have? It's going to take a lot on the other side of the scale to weigh me to a different cryptocurrency. But at the same time, I think at some point we're going to have something that, whether it's better with anonymity, it's better with privacy, it's better with whatever, something is probably going to be better than Bitcoin, and something is probably going to be more convenient than Bitcoin. No, Bitcoin won't go down. No one's going to shut it off. I'm sure people are still going to use it. Like I said, I would very easily see it being used as going back to when people were calling it digital gold. We had a rapper on a while ago. You have to find that in the podcast, maybe about a year. But he had a song called Digital Gold, Digital Gold. I got that digital gold. I don't know if that's what the song was called. That was definitely a couple lines. But I could definitely see Bitcoin being used as a store of value in the Bitcoin in the cryptocurrency. Right now, it's definitely not the best store of value because like everybody bought in at 20,000 about what, like 10 months ago, and now it's down to it's going back and forth between 6, 9, and 7 for that 6, 9, and 7,000. And so right now it hasn't been the best store of value, but I could see that changing. But yeah, no, there'll always be somebody running Bitcoin. There'll always be somebody trading Bitcoin, even if for nothing else than just for old time's sake. Just people like familiar things. People like things from the past. People like things that have a more established kind of framework for them. People like that. People take some comfort in the fact that, hey, this hasn't messed up yet. This hasn't gone to shit yet. So yeah, sure, let's use it. But like I said, I'm probably gonna have to eat all my words about telling people to just make things and create more stuff, because Bitmain has new public or new IPO that is for $18 billion. And I'll just show you guys on here again. Screen share most, because I need to check my phone and see if Zack did ever text me. He promised me too this time. He promised me. Actually, he didn't, but no, I skipped over it. Crypto mining giant Bitmain might go public with $18 billion IPO. This is at Yahoo, so you know we're getting the best quality news. I'm just going to read a couple of things from the article. I haven't looked at this, so I'm not even exactly sure what's going on. My general thoughts on most IPOs is that most of them are probably scams. Not most of them, but if you're going to look at something as, is this worthwhile or not, you should probably look at most IPOs as being scams. You should go in looking as closely as possible, because if you go in being like, yeah, no, this sounds like a great idea, you're not going to look behind everything. You're not going to, something a little bit weird happens, you go, oh no, it's fine, it'll work out. You don't want to do that, especially with really any kind of a crowdfunding thing. We've had issues with Daniel and I. half the reason why Half the reason we got into Bitcoin was just how pissed off we got about, like, what kept us in Bitcoin was just how pissed off we got at Butterfly Labs whenever they did a crowdfunding. Or did they? I don't even remember if they did a crowd. They just did everybody pre-order all these miners, and they took forever to send the miners. They sent them in the wrong case. They had to upgrade the casing because things were overheating. So it was a whole fuck up. But looking at anything where people are pre-selling you something where they're going, hey, no, buy a part of my company, buy a part of my thing that's going to make me a lot of money, you'll get a little bit. You have to be careful. You have to go, should my money be someplace else? Should I be doing something for myself? Same thing with what I was saying before. No, I'm not eating my words with this. Instead of donating to IPO, make up your own. Make up your, even if it's a scam, make up your own scam. Don't donate to an IPO. Go and do whatever you want there. So I just need my drink. Normally I have Daniel just drop off and I'll just be like, here, you talk for a little bit while I can drink. I can get some nicotine. But no, I will suffer through this all for you guys today because I'm here. Daniel, as I said, is off incognito someplace. He won't tell me where it is. But yeah, I've been showing this screen for long enough. I should probably tell you guys about it. According to Coinbase, Bitmain could be seeking to raise as much as $18 billion in a public offering, which would value the company between $40 billion and $50 billion. This comes after Bitmain's reported $1.1 billion in profit in 2017, as well as another $1.1 billion in profit in Q1 2018. However, as the price of Bitcoin has fallen from $20,000 last December to a low of 5,800 in August, which it has already breaking the article up. This has already jumped back up. This is Bitcoin right now. Let me check my little app thing. I think it's about 6.9. Like I said before, it's going between 6.9 and 7. Yeah, it's 6,960 and 28 cents on Coinbase as of 9:44 Thursday night, August 30th. And you can get us every night or every Thursday night. We should do a daily show at this point, but you can get us every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. For this show, go to ymb.com/live and get in the chat there. Talk to us. Let us know how dumb we are. Let me know specifically how dumb I am. But we'll go back here. Crypto mining giant Bitcoin. If you're, so yeah, they actually. Oh no, good for Yahoo. They actually even mentioned that Bitcoin was trading at 7,000 as of 4:45 on August 29th. But what they're saying is because it's dropped so far from $20,000, or yeah, because it's dropped so far, with all the profits they've made, the profits have also dropped now too. Where you can go, oh, we had $1.1 billion in profits, and it's like yes, but that $1.1 billion in profits is no longer worth what it was. It has significantly decreased, maybe even halved since the 2000s. Or it definitely has halved since 2017, and it looks weird. It's not a good chance. It's not that it's necessarily it's not Bitmain's fault, but it doesn't look good for investors, specifically people who are not already involved with Bitcoin or cryptocurrency in some way. It looks very well. Wait, you could make all this money and then it just goes away because some other people sold some stuff. I don't like this. This is terrible. I want to go back to the dollar where we just enforce prices and we enforce our power in the world basically just with a gun, and we go, nope, you're gonna keep on letting us just print money and just borrow more stuff so that we can keep this going. It really is just it's just a delay. It's a delay of something bad happening. Where something like Bitcoin, if people sell, if there's a loss of interest or a loss of faith in Bitcoin or in the cryptocurrency, things drop, things go away. If there's a loss in faith in a government, that does eventually cause a problem, but it's not as quickly noticeable. That's more of a problem amongst the people. It's more of a problem amongst what what kind of decisions people are making, because the government has all the infrastructure, has all the power, has all the muscle to keep things going and to make sure that things don't drop right away. But the more you normally, the more you extend something like that, the more you try to save yourself from a slump, the worse it gets whenever everything eventually breaks out. Government is very much like issues with government is very much like issues with your mental state, where you could ignore it. You can say, nope, it's not there. It's fine. Nope, nope. And eventually it's not going to get better if you don't ever actually look at it. It's not like governments normally they're their solution for a problem, their solution for loss of faith is just to, yeah, well, I guess we start another war or something. Like we need to get people involved again. Like, let's just go blow some up. Let's see if we can drop gasoline prices. Then people are like, yep, I'm proud to be an American, or at least I know I'm free. And I don't know, the personal equivalent of that would just be like, well, I feel bad about myself, so I should go fight somebody in the street to make myself feel better. And before I go fight somebody in the street, I'm gonna take brass knuckles, I'm gonna take some instant steroids, and I'm gonna take all of the cocaine in the world so that I maul this person. There's no chance of them winning. And then I'm going to feel good about myself. And I'm going to go, yep, I did. I'm badass. I'm a cool person. Woo. And then I'm going to lean over the person and be like, hey, you want me to sell you some new teeth? What were we going to do here? Anyway, back to the article. Bitmain has generated significant controversy due to their overwhelming share of the Bitcoin mining market and a significant support for Bitcoin Cash as a controversial offshoot of Bitcoin. That must hurt a little bit there, saying it's an offshoot of Bitcoin to Bitcoin Cash, but whatever. They go on to talk about how many of these IPOs are coming out. And especially for me, I try not to pay attention to them because I'm not going to invest in any, I'm not going to send money to these. It's never seemed like a better idea to me than just leaving money in Bitcoin. But I'm also not any kind of a trader. I don't have that habit already ingrained. I did mention this before where normally when we make decisions, what we support is a lot of times based off of what we've been doing in the past. And you can change that, you can go in a different direction. But my path so far has not been one to get involved with things like that. So I don't really care. I don't pay a lot of attention. I see another IPO somebody's writing about on Reddit or on Twitter. I'm just like, yeah, no, that makes sense. It's like, why people are going to do it. It's just hot right now. Like it's a meme, but people are going to keep doing it because it's so popular. Bitmain, because of this new giant IPO they're putting out, uh, Bloomberg has reported that other cryptocurrency mining hardware companies, Canaan Incorporated and eBay International Holdings, are also planning to go public, with another mining company, Bitfury, considering going public. So because Bitmain is doing all this stuff, they are kind of pushing other companies to do the same. This is where I do probably eat a little bit of my words, where I go, I don't really want everybody to start doing that, but you can't, in a at least somewhat free market, the more constraints you put on something, the more that just gives more stuff to bigger guys, to larger companies to exploit those, because normally just in laws in general, there's a lot of stuff that's not, it's illegal, but it's not like, oh, we ban you or you go to prison. It's just, hey, give us some money. And there's, hey, what are you doing there? Give us a little bit of money. And the bigger guys, the bigger companies, the bigger corporations can afford that, and that's not going to hurt them. They can pay that. Like, yeah, sure, whatever. We'll dish out a couple 100,000 on something we made millions on. But a smaller person, a smaller company, especially startups, the more regulations, the more constraints you put on somebody from what they're allowed to do, the more startup costs you need, and the more you push it out of the realm of possibility for somebody else to do something and for competition to actually happen. You get monopolies whenever you have regulations that blast any kind of a any kind of like a mom and pop shop out, any kind of an independent company. You completely fuck over whenever you make all these laws that were like, no, we're saving them from the corporations, but most of the laws get written by the corporation. They don't care. Like, they're the ones, if for nothing else, they're the ones that have the money to lobby for these laws to get made. You think the I don't know what bookstore you go. I haven't gone to a bookstore in front. The only bookstores I ever went to would half price books because I'm a cheap fuck. and I hate Barnes and Noble. I've gone in there several times because Daniel, of course, likes it. Daniel's hung out at Barnes and Nobles for a while. It's kind of annoying. That's the only reason why I say I have some hipster in me where I'm not full. Daniel at this point is full hipster. He's getting married like a hipster, just like our other host, John, who also got married like a hipster. And they're both hipsters together. But whatever book place you go to, if it's like a small, it's run by two people that say they're vegan but eat hamburgers whenever they're invited to somebody else's house, and drink kombucha tea, they're not making any kind of a law. They're not getting on the board of the person that decides that corporations can't do whatever. So think about that whenever you're talking about actually stopping somebody from doing something. Back to the article, referencing the significant YTD price declines of most, I don't even know what that means. Bloomberg explains the risk is that a lengthy bear market will erode demand for the company's specialized computer chips, which miners use to verify virtual currency transactions in a race for crypto denominated rewards. Bitmain, Canaan, and eBay are trying to adapt their technology for use in other fields, such as artificial intelligence, but they've yet to prove that the new applications are scalable. Publicly traded shares would offer a real-time gauge of how investors view their prospects. Now, part of this makes me go, see, this is why things will work out, because a company that is not able to fulfill it, like if your company is based around people wanting to mine and make money off of Bitcoin and to capitalize on what is basically I don't know, it's a mini stock market mixed in with some gambling. And if you're going to cater to just that, you are going to have some issues whenever the price tanks, whenever the price shits the bed. You're going to have some issues as to who wants to be involved. The person that's in it just for money, the person that's in it because they're like, oh well, see, Bitcoin went up from $500 to 20,000. Let's just put all our money, like let's just start mining. I've had so many people who have never, like, I remember, and I've had this a couple times now where Bitcoin jumps way up. It's like 10 timing its value from like a year ago or a couple months ago. And everyone's like, wow, this is crazy. How this is amazing. I should have put money in Bitcoin. Hey, do you know how to mine? Do you want to start mining? And my answer from 5 years or 4 years ago, already at this point, 4 years ago has just been, it's already too, like, you're not going to make any money doing this, which you probably would have if you just mined and then just saved those Bitcoins. You would have eventually made money off of it going up. But it's also better to just use your money and just buy Bitcoin then. Like if you're going to spend $5,000, because that's always what people do. Like, all right, I have a couple people and we're all going to put money together and we're going to buy all this mining equipment and we're going to run it. And I did these calculations, and after a month, we'll be making $200 a day. It'll be great. It won't be enough to live on, but it'll be an extra little bit of money. And I don't know, like, that's cool. That's great. I get that is also what brings a lot of people into Bitcoin. That's the sexiest headline you can have. And it's the nicest one to see for me, where Yahoo, or it wasn't Yahoo, I forget who wrote the article, but it was back whenever it was just flying up to 20,000. Everyone's like, everybody is getting insanely rich and you're not. So it was a nice little, yeah, fuck you guys. You didn't buy any of this. Everyone, whoever was like, yeah, Bitcoin's dumb. It's pretty much not going to go up anymore. Nothing's really going to happen anymore. You go, well, let's see, this is happening again. So we at least have something. But whenever you don't have that kind of a market, whenever it does half in price, as it has done before, whenever you have a bad time in Bitcoin, whenever it's a low point, people are going to leave. If they don't have a kind of, whether it's a ideological backing, an emotional backing, if they don't have weight in Bitcoin, they're going to leave, and that's fine. It doesn't really matter. We don't need the people. Not that Bitcoin needs me. Bitcoin certainly doesn't need me, but we don't need people helping or doing, because they're not. They're just there to make money. That's fine. I have no problem with that. But we don't need you. There's nothing wrong with getting rid of those people. We have this aversion ever since. It's not it. The aversion hasn't just been from there, because nobody's ever liked poverty. Nobody has ever liked sudden drops in poverty, especially. But ever since everybody just randomly just started listening to Keynes about everything, we've gone cycles, business, up and down markets are not the true way of nature. Nature is very stable, and it just runs along and constantly gives you the same thing, and there's no deviation. And then it goes up a little bit because that makes sense. And there's not any kind of a development. Progress is constantly upward, and it never goes backwards at all. And so any kind of a thing that has any fluctuation in it, we go, that doesn't even make sense, because we've so inundated with this whole idea that the only way for something to be legitimate is that it's stable. Everything has to be stable, when what we think of as stable is still so young and so immature compared to the rest of history, where everything was just chaos most of the time. Everything was just nobody had people had an idea of what was going on, and there was progress, but there wasn't this obsession with nothing. Like, we have this obsession with, oh, it's just going to steadily increase, and it's good. No, it's not. Like, the only reason why the what's the phrase, standard of living in America is going up, is because we live in the empire. Like, we live in the best part of the world. Eventually stuff kind of has to happen. Eventually there comes a time where you have to pay the bill for something good. Good stuff doesn't just get thrown at you for no reason. The standard of life is not wealth. That's why, regardless of what you think about socialism or what you think about distributing wealth, people, whenever they start to argue for that, they start to go, well, this people have all this money, and it's just like, did you know that the 3 billionaires could feed people forever? And we act like there's an onus on people to provide for other people. And not only that, we act like wealth is just everywhere. It just happens. These people just got wealthy. These people just have money. Yeah, sure, they were born into money, but somewhere along the line, somebody made a decision, and that's what made them. If you take away, it isn't just in the moment. And this is the other, like, people, well, Canada's healthcare is still good. It doesn't take away the incentive in the moment, because it isn't just, people aren't as simple as just, oh, well, now that I can't earn any more money, I won't work as hard anymore, because they have years and years of practice normally in something. If you're proficient at something enough where the government is trying to make it free, although I guess this isn't necessarily, whatever. If you're proficient in something enough where people are demanding it for free, or demanding that it is socialized, nationalized, whatever, you going through years and years of training, you have a dedication kind of to a work ethic. This is why the hospitals in Canada are still doing decently well, because most of the doctors there are still from the old system, are still from the idea of, well, the better I do this, the more money I make, the better my reputation is with people, and then that'll bring in more, that'll be good for business. You don't just, those habits don't just die immediately, because they still have that onus of, I'm using onus too much, but they still have the work ethic that a freer market provides. Taking away that incentive, taking away the incentive of wanting to make wealth, like I said, is not just in the moment. It's then also, people aren't going to be as concerned about money for their children. People aren't going to go, I'm going to work 50 hours a week so that my kid can have more, because if they're not going to get more, they're not going to worry about it. You're going to completely, and I guess this is what they want. They want to, in their eyes, flatten society so that everybody has the same amount of money. Same thing with, everybody freaks out about literally any kind of a market fluctuating. They just, we don't want any difference. Everyone should have the exact same amount of money, because that's the living wage, and people have a right to things like food and water because it's where. Well, I get that, like, all the numbers make sense that, yeah, you could provide hospitals, you could provide water, but there's never been a time in history where people have had a right to water, people have had a right to food. Yeah, it's a noble idea, yes, but stop coming at the argument. And I don't know that anybody listening to this is coming from the argument like this, but if there is somebody there, you can't come from the argument in a theme of wealth is just the standard. Like, something bad had to have happened to you for you not to have wealth. Something good had to happen to you to have wealth, probably, yes, or you did something good. But just because you don't have wealth doesn't mean something bad happened to you. The natural state is poverty. The natural state is nothing. The natural state is, like, just go out in the woods. Yeah, sure, go out in the woods and live. You're not just having shit thrown at you. You still have to shit and wipe your own ass. You still have to do all these different things. Where life is not egalitarian. Life is not a. I don't even want to say life is not fair because that's so overused. But we do have to think of, there are parts of life that shouldn't be made egalitarian. Uh, Maybe, or at least ask the question versus just going, yep, no, everybody should get everything. But I've talked for a little bit too long on this. I kind of need to wrap things up now. Everybody's leaving. I will thank you guys for sticking around, those of you who did, and listening to me as I stumbled through this podcast. But Bitmain, finishing up on them, the I don't. They just finished talking about Coinbase and that Coinbase could be worth $8 billion, and they're continuing to resist the call to go public. So I guess good on them. We do shit on Coinbase a lot, but you have to appreciate stuff where you can get it, and I do kind of commend Coinbase for staying away from that, from keeping from not letting themselves get dragged in and just going, yep, no, everything's public, buy us. But yeah, thanks for listening. Try to keep, I guess, things in mind. I already gave my advice before, where I'll go back on it now, because my advice from before was to never have a logical argument, just attack people, but have the logical argument in your own head so you can kind of know where you're coming from, because then you'll be even better at attacking people, because you'll know where to attack them so that they don't go after your vulnerable parts. They don't go after the vulnerable parts of your argument, because you lead them away with the attack. And so they don't even think that you're trying to cover that. Or maybe they do. That's actually, if someone's trained for arguing, I think in debate, I think they kind of just teach you to do that. But anyway, get us on here again at 9 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. Every night we do this live show. Come with us, hang out with us in the chat. Follow me at Baker's Dozen 93. Follow the show at You, Me, and BTC. Tweet Daniel there. Tell him he's a loser. Tell him to watch his back. Do that. Please, a few people, don't get graphic with it. Don't get banned from. Although if you want to get banned from Twitter for this, for the joke, I would appreciate it. I will like it and retweet it immediately. If you just want to tweet Daniel and be, hey, I see you, or something like that, it will freak him the fuck out. So do that. But next week, catch us here again. Thank you for listening to episode 257 of You, Me, and BTC. This was my attempt at screw Bcash. I apologize for not screwing them hard enough. Hope to see you guys next week. Catch my show, catch Zack's. Thanks, and I don't know, buy more Bitcoin. Bye.